Hello and welcome to another episode of Space Engineers. Now, in the last episode, we made some major improvements to the C-130, taking it to more of an AC-130 with several defensive cannons to allow it to properly take out some assert drones or enemy aircraft. Now, it's still fairly fragile as this thing is light armor, but it should be a useful tool when we're attacking the desert fortifications. But can't think about desert fortifications and going off on adventures without worrying about defending our home base. If you look at the firepower distribution we have in our base, you'll find that like 90% of our firepower is right here on the coast, mostly within the Discovery and the Gold Whale. And that's an issue, as the longest range of firepower we have here is 2,500 meters, 2.5 kilometers from the 100 millimeters. And if we go from that and we go back 2.5 kilometers, we'll find that we aren't even really covering the oil refinery. I mean, we're just barely able to shoot above the runway. So we're not defending them. The runway and the oil refinery, the only thing that they have is two little 30 millimeter bunkers that are honestly just enough to take out some assert drones. And that's it. So, we need some more defenses. We need a flak tower, which is what we're going to be building today. Or at least, we're just going to rough it out. I'll probably leave the actual building of it to be a stream. But the goal for that is that with a flak tower, and I'm talking a big flak tower, like 13 by 13 footprint, 20 something blocks tall. I want to say at least a dozen 30 millimeter cannons, 4 to 6 Sea-Wiz, 800 millimeters. Like, this thing should be bristling with guns. And at 2.5 kilometers, it's pretty much going to get to the coast here, or almost to the coast over here. And that way, we're going to have this area. It's going to be like this, where anything that flies into that area is going to be eviscerated. And I really, really like that. So as such, we need to start making a flak tower. Now we've got a block in here to be the start of it. And oh god, the Spirit of Le Monde. Oh no, it's firing missiles. Okay. Do we have enough anti-missile to take care of all these? Is a very good question. See, this is my issue. The fact that I updated that mod pack to allow missiles to... weren't these firing at the right things? I have no idea. The fact that I updated the mod pack to allow for these tracking long-range missiles is very useful for me, but also I need to defend against them. So it's causing massive issues over here because those missiles are getting through and almost taking out some of these defenses. So this is why I need the flak tower. Even more than just taking out enemy planes, it's to defend against enemy missiles. So this is a perfect representation of what's going on. And what the heck are your guns doing? They're just wasting ammo like crazy. Thankfully, it doesn't cause any self-damage, because these guns are being very, very dumb. Stupid guns. And looks like we're surviving the storm here, and the Spirit of Le Monde is slowly leaving the area. And we're only surviving because it's firing a single missile launcher at us instead of a large volley of missiles, which some of these AI spawns have. They'll fire off half a dozen volleys at the same time. Yeah, just going straight into the ground. Okay, so we survived that. But there, that's why I need the flak towers. I need to defend against that constantly. So let's get to it. We are over here by the oil refinery, by the runway. It's just over there, over the hill, 500 meters away. And this block right here is going to be the beginning of the flak tower. Now, we've got some armor plate. We should grab some more. Now, I'm thinking this thing's going to be about 15 by 15, I'd have to say. So let's go. Goes up this way. So let's check to see if it's going to go into the hill this way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's like right into the side of the hill, which could be fine, considering the fact, you know, it's just a flak tower. It doesn't need to be on perfectly flat terrain. So then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Starting to go into the terrain here a little bit. So maybe I want to pull that back slightly. But I think it's fine. 15 by 15 is probably going to be the biggest it's going to be, right? So if I bring this down this way, and this over this way, we should be good for the size of the tower. Nice. And that is conveniently right where my cargo container is. There we go. That should be the bottom of it roughed in. And I think I'm liking this size. I think I might round the corners, though. Like, for example, over here, if I just go down to slants like that, it might be kind of nice. May want to do that a bit more aggressively as well. Maybe a 3 long slant. Just slightly cutting down the profile of it. Make it look cool. I mean, I could just have this square building all the way up, but that's kind of boring. A different shape would be kind of nice, actually. So if it's going to be this size, we can go like that. So a 3 is along the corner. And as such, that would be over here as well. There we go. There, and there. So then 1, 2, 3. Perfection. And let's see. 1, 2, 3. Bum, bum. Ooh, yeah, I'm liking that shape already. I'm kind of like getting off of where my original block was, but whatever. Who cares? I like that. That's a good shape. Alright, we'll go for a gate here, which I'm not sure if I have the steel plate for, but it looks like I do. And I believe that the gate will be on this side, because this is the side that makes the most sense. So if I'm looking at driving a vehicle from the oil refinery, and I drive down here, and I drive around this tree, and I'm going to go past the flak tower, it makes sense to have the entrance right there before I go and drive up and over this hill over to what'll be the air control tower and the hangar bays and such. That makes sense. Alright. So now that we've got all that in position, we can start thinking about how tall do we want to make this thing. Because... oh, I need armor plate. That would be a very good thing to have. Thankfully, I have thousands here. Although I got to that 20-something that I can get rid of. There we go. We want this to be tall in order to have some good sight lines. So I'm thinking 2 there, maybe at least 20. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, that's getting us falling off the edge. So I want to be able to shoot over stuff. And that gives us some good sight lines. The guns will be continuing to go up here. We're going to superposition all of the guns. And if you, I'm not sure exactly what that means. It's like, well, I can show you on the Discovery over here. Superpositioning means that the guns behind are slightly higher, so that they can shoot over the guns in front, and so that like all the guns can shoot at all the targets at all times. So we're going to do this as well at the top of the tower, so that there's going to be this sort of pyramid at the top, and it's going to be coated in guns. So this is just going to be the basic level, where the other levels are probably going to be about 5 blocks higher, or say about up here-ish will be the top. Which isn't bad, although it could be a bit taller. Let's take a look, especially because we have to think about if we're going to have stuff in here. Cargo. Like, for example, if we have a large cargo container and we place it in here, it is 3 blocks tall. So we need the room that whatever that is in is going to be 3 blocks tall. Bare minimum. So, if we make the room 3 blocks tall, like that, and then we continue that pattern up the tower of 3 block tall rooms, which then we can put a staircase somewhere in the center of the tower. That gets us to there. And then maybe we can add one more room on top of that as I fail to place blocks properly. And so that gives us all of these levels that we can do. And we can even make the first one just like a double level. Remove this, have a nice open space, and then small levels as we go up. Then each one of them would be like, a bunkhouse, where there'd be a bunch of beds and like places where people could sleep. And then like a respawn point. One will be an armory with a bunch of ammunition stores and such. One of them will be a medical area. You know, make this into a bunker, that fallback position if I need it to be. And then from here, we would be at the top of the tower. Which, I think this is a fairly commanding position. I'm guessing the only stronger thing I could do for this would be place it on top of this height of land that we've got right here. Place it over here. And then be like 20 blocks up, which would be about here. Which would give it a much better view of the area. But then I'm already losing a kilometer of my effective coverage for the oil refinery and such in that direction. Where if I place it right in here, I'm at least right in the middle of my base. And this doesn't have to be the only flak tower I build too. I can build more of these. So I think I kind of like this. And that is... we'll make the first level a double level, so you just have lots of room in there. We can set up stuff and maybe have a little bit of a parking garage for a couple vehicles. Because we do have the gate. We should be able to get like that vehicle in this thing parked up for safety. And then we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 levels. And then the top. We could do a 5th, but I think we're starting to get to a little bit of ridiculousness here. I think this tower is enough. let's do a 5th. There we go. There, that's as tall as we're going to make it. So then we need to do the sort of outline of the area here. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to go over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 before we start ramping the other direction. And we do 3 ramps. And then we do another 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. And then again, 3 ramps. Perfection. There is the top of the tower mocked up. So now we can kind of see what the volume of that's going to be when it's all filled out. That's going to be a monstrous block. From here, this will be where we exit out, and there'll be a staircase here, and there'll be a way that we can go down the side of the tower. I'm not sure exactly where the staircase is going to be. It's probably going to be like here, there, or there, while the entrance is right there. Off on one of the sides, or maybe in a corner. Because I don't think I want to put it in the center, because that would just get in the way of parking and stuff down there. So then once we're up here, I kind of want to have this stick out a little bit. And I'm just going to quickly run a few ties across in various locations, just so I can cut away pieces without having this entire top part fall down. There we go. So I can cut away, like, say, this corner here without having it fall off. Because it's also going to be, I'm thinking, slightly larger at this level. I'm thinking we're going to go at least a block out in every direction, if not more. And these corners are going to be they're not going to, like, cut across. They're actually going to push out as they go. And it's going to be like that. So we're going to have this go out and then come across. So like two halves, and then block, and then 2 halves back, like that. And that is going to make us a little gun position off the side, like so. So we're going to have the central tower coming up the center, and then once we get to this level, there'll be a few leaves pointing off to the sides and making these open areas where we will be able to put in some weapons. So for example, I think a perfect thing at this height would be some CIWS. So we'll be able to place our CIWS right there. And oh god. That's okay, it's a cargo transport. How armed are you? Every time something spawns now, I'm afraid of it. I just wish things had less missile launchers. Okay, this has a GAT. Okay, it's fine. I'm just afraid. So with a CIWS right there, and just check my fuel. Okay, got plenty of hydro. Should be able to come along here. Slice this bad boy up. And make the same... I need armor plate. Make the same setup over there. Ooh, 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 that is looking good. And I do know that I'm going to have to cut away a portion of this and put in piping in the end and such like that. But I'm just looking for, you know, getting the look and feel of this thing set up first. Oh, that is awesome. All right. And while we're here, we'll just quickly drop another line down to the ground here, just to ensure that if something happens, the entire top doesn't fall off because of a single block being destroyed, which is always a sad thing. Oh, right. Shit. That's part of the overhang. No, I wasted all this armored blade. Ah, well. 'Tis what I do, is screw up every so often. And there. Plugged in. Okay. The other weapon that I was thinking would be good on these ends is we've got the 30mm, and I could easily run 30mm out to there, so that each of these sort of pods on the sides would have a CWIS in the center and a 30mm on each of these flat faces. I just run the conveyors inside the armor there with reinforced conveyors. And then I'm wondering, I think 4 is going to be enough for CWIS. I wonder if I want to do another one. Because right here would be the center. And I could, theoretically, pop that out a little bit. Put down a CWIS like that. Put ... and then ... like that. And I wonder if 8 CWIS is too much. I think for purely anti-missile, 8 is probably overkill. I think 4 would be good. Especially because these 30mm could also assist with anti-missile. But these could be something else. They don't have to be CWIS. So in these corners, like this part's here, because I like having the little things stick out on the edge like that. So instead of CWIS, what could you be? We do have other options. We have 203mm single gun turrets. We have 100mm turrets. Because these 203 single guns, oh, they're nice. You got 3.5km flak rounds. You got 8km HE rounds. We could also just put the 100mm there as our first batch of 100mm. Because Lord knows we're going to have more than 4 of these. For sure. But I think I like having little gun port like this. Bada bum. And then again, we can put a 30 right there. So then it would be 3 30s per side. Nice. A dozen 30mm, 4 CWIS. I think that's good for this level. Let me just do the other bits of these. That and running out of armor plates, of course. But again, that's why I have the cargo right here. And get it all plugged in. Alright. So that should be good for that level. Then the next level in is going to be in, but slightly higher. Of course. So I'm thinking we're going to want to have 2-block walkway along here. Because if I have like a 100 mil and it's like right there, because that'd actually be a good spot for the 100 mil sticking out slightly there. Yeah, right there for 100 mil. I can walk behind the 100 mil right here. So this one is going to come up here. Not sure exactly where this is going to be precisely, but it's probably going to go up 2 blocks and then over. And that's going to be the next base height. And again, we got those 2 blocks that align with the back of the CWIS. So here is where it'll go up. And then as we come along the CWIS, we'll have a... yeah, it'll go like this. We'll have a slant there, I want to say. That gives me a block to walk by this. This will give me a couple blocks to walk by it. Yeah, let's give a couple blocks. Like that. And that's how it'll work. Very nice. So the next level of gun here, I'm thinking is going to be more 100 mils. So if I have 100 mils here, like so, and I have 400 mils facing outwards, I can do another 400 mils off of this edge. And I can, if I wanted to, have this almost coming out over top of where I'm standing currently. Because I can replace these two with... let me just get rid of these, get back to my armor shapes that I had before. The heavy versions. I could conceivably have blocks like this that would allow me to walk through, but then smoothly transition up to this turret being above me in this spot. Something like that, and... oh, we could even have it come out like that. I don't really like it. Just go with the normal corner. Because then this still feels like I have still a good enough passageway to get around when I'm walking up here. And then, still another corner out. Another heavy armor corner like that. And we can have a slope all the way across here and literally have that just... oh, that feels really nice, actually. It feels nice and secure, even if you're just standing in here as a pedestrian, where you would have like a railing along the edge. I don't have the construction components for it, but you know what I mean. A railing straight there, across here, and you have this over top of it, so it almost feels like you can... oh god, oh, it's supply transport. Okay, it's just supply transport. Whew, it scared me. You can almost like tuck in and be like, okay, I'm in cover, I'm safe, you know, sort of thing. I like it. I really, really like that. And then the next gun will have its conveyor will be this block here. And it will be a 100 mil. Now the question is, do I actually have that as a 100 mil? If I put that there as 100 mil, that's fine and dandy. I can get 400 mils. Or do I put in 203 mils at this point? Because if I'm starting to put in 203s, then we can get some much longer range firepower going on. There is the 203mm gun turret as like a double turret. Not sure if I want that. But there is this 203mm single turret, which is actually pretty sexy. And I could fit 4 of them up here. And so we'd have 3.5 kilometer long flak capabilities. at this place. So anything that comes within 3.5 kilometers, that supply transport would be being shot down right now from this flak tower. That would be delicious. I'm not sure, but for now, I'll just put 100 mil here for spacing. Because we still have space in the center of this. We're going to go up one more level with all of this. I don't know, we're just loading this thing up with guns. It's absolutely ridiculous. So the same kind of thing we've got here, where we're going to have this slope going this way. We're going to have a couple blocks back on this boy. And the same feeling going up. Although it might be getting to the point where we don't have enough room here except for one large gun in the center. Because there's that 203. I'll just go to the block buttons here. Grab that 100 mil again. And we got the 203 gun turret. We could literally just put this 203 gun turret in the center of the base here. Plunk it down there, build up around it, call it good. Alternatively, we can do two of them. We can put one there and one there. Or we could probably get in the 203 single shots somewhere. I'm not 100% sure. How much space do I need to fit in 4 203 one-shots? Oh, I probably could at the very top of this. Because this guy is centered on a block that is 1, 2, 3 away. So it would be 1, 2, 3. This would be where it would be centered 2 blocks higher. Yes. I could conceivably get 4 203 millimeters. Does that do it? It would be there, here, and over here. And that would fit. That would actually fit. Oh, man. I mean, I've got to fill out the rest of this base and everything, but we would have 800 mils. Okay, let's start from the bottom. Start with the lowest caliber. We would have 12 30 millimeters, 4 CWES, which is more than enough for missile defense. If all the CWES would be dedicated anti-missiles, they would not fire at grids. So there'd be 4 CWES with cram ammo, which would be more than enough. The 30 millimeters would have standard ammo, would fire at both the missiles and grids if needed be. So they would be there to assist the CWES if needed. We would have 8 100 millimeter flak with them offset, so the centered on that level and cornered on this level, along with 4 203s, which I could... Oh god, an assert. An assert. An assert! I might want to run away real quick. Just so they don't come to the base here. And I could reposition those 203s to be more centered. You know what I mean? Because they're cornered. I could set them to be centered on the 4 sides. It might give them a bit more space. But hopefully that research outpost isn't wanting to damage me too much. Oh, did you guys... Oh, did we take a missile hit? Oh, no. You guys took a missile hit. And you are actually damaged. Well, it doesn't work when the build and repair system can't build and repair. Alrighty then. Let's get that built up. Yeah, there's a tadpole. Oh, the Spectre's doing its work. Oh, but the damage is coming in. With that tadpole, oh yeah, it's gone. It's gone. Hell yeah. Excellent. Well, hopefully we get everything here built up real quick. And also, is there any other ones coming in? Small grids. There's the tadpole. And there's a dead fleeting rival. Nope. The rest of it's just scrap. Good. Alright. Back to the Flak Tower. So, I was thinking just here, if I take these 203s and instead push them out onto the side here, we can get them overlapping some nice spaces. So cut these away. And while we could also have guns there, we have the 203s. And we place them like that. Be one. Also, they can all face outwards, which looks nice. Face in their direction. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we can slope this off as needed. And why did that assert outpost boot up again? I thought you just went back into dormant mode. You sending out another thing after me? Ah, you did, you bastards. There's a pigeon in the air. But it's not attacking. It's just sitting there. Ugh. Bastards. But I think this design is going to work. And then from here we can... Actually, we could make this a little bit chonkier up at the top. We can have a 3 across like that before we start to slant. And then we can slant the rest of it. Oh yeah, that looks chonky. And with the sun going down, I think that we've got the design pretty well roughed out here. Like, this is going to be an intense amount of firepower that's going to be available on this platform here. Again, we'll go over the total amount of firepower I believe this is going to have. We're going to have 12 30mm cannons running standard ammunition, firing at both grids and projectiles. We're going to have 4 dedicated anti-missile Sea-Wiz with cram ammo. We're going to have 8 100mm flaks with a 2.5 kilometer range. And we're going to have 4 203mm flaks with 3.5 kilometer range. Meaning that essentially everything within this distance from the tower is going to be subject to mass bombardment of flak damage. All in heavy armor, will be all piped up, and should be, if I get it all set up properly. Let me just get away from the tower here, in case those asserts come in. Should be all piped up properly to the munitions factory when I build that, such that it will have infinite ammunition. So as that is calling for ammunition, oh, we shot off we shot off 20 100mm rounds, taking out that enemy plane. Like, can you please give us some more? It will go, hey, yeah, sure, and just easily pump in some more ammunition for it. That is going to be absolutely amazing. But I think that's going to be it for this episode. I am going to save the work building this thing up for streams and off camera, as this is going to take a hell of a lot of armored plate, like ridiculous quantities. But once it's done, I think it's gonna be worth it, and we're gonna have a well defended base. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and good hunting out there, fellow space engineers.